I'm striving to get rich. That's why I almost went 2 years without buying shoes and fits. Things change now. My mom hearing me with my music and she look a little proud.
Yo, what's up, world? Welcome back to the channel. APW Sports signing in. And today we are looking at the power rankings after week 2 of the NFL season. Not going to make this long, so without further ado, let's dive into it. We have in number 32 the New York Jets, and that's about right. This team is awful. This team is absolutely awful. Sam Darnold has not really progressed under Adam Gase, and I feel it's more on Adam Gase's coaching than Sam Darnold. But this team is not progressing. They're dealing with some injuries, and this team is just not going to be any good. I knew this team wasn't going to be good, but I didn't think they was going to be bottom of the league. I thought the bottom of the league would have belonged to Jacksonville. So we move on to number 31, the Carolina Panthers. This team has potential to be better than 31, but over the past 2 weeks, this team has not played well. And then you have Christian McCaffrey out a couple of weeks with the ankle injury. Things cannot look good going forward for the Carolina Panthers without Christian McCaffrey. The receiving core is not necessarily that good, but it's going to be a long season for Carolina. Number 30, Cincinnati Bengals. Now, I'm not expecting this team to be any good anyway, but they do play hard. This team plays hard. They still very, very young, especially with rookie Joe Burrow at the quarterback position. He does look pretty good in his first 2 games, but this team is still pretty young. A.J. Green is not really the same receiver, and the defense is not really that good to begin with, so I could have expected this Bengals team to not be good. They're still young and they still have growing to do, so I'm not necessarily surprised that they're at number 30. So number 29, we have the Detroit Lions, who've blown 2 leads already this season. Defense did not look good against Green Bay, even though Green Bay is one of the more potentially potent offenses in this league. This Detroit Lions team just does not know how to hold the lead. And I think they're wasting the talents of Matthew Stafford, who I still think is one of the more underrated quarterbacks in football. The Detroit Lions defense is not living up. They have been hampered with injuries with Okuda. Trufant has been in and out. So, this Detroit Lions team, I really didn't see them being too good anyway. But the defense is a big letdown. Number 28, the New York Giants. The team my Bears just beat. Yeah, you can expect this team to stay at the bottom, especially losing Saquon for the season with that torn ACL injury. And even though the offense has potential to be better, it just won't be the same without Saquon Barkley in the backfield. Deion Lewis did look solid last week. Daniel Jones had his moments. This Giants defense is not really that good. So yeah, this team is going to struggle. Still very young, still with a first-year head coach. So I don't really have high expectations for the Giants, especially without Saquon. Number 27, the Atlanta Falcons. I said this last year. I think Dan Quinn has to go. The guy's a defensive guy, but the one thing they don't do is play defense. This defense is bad. This defense is bad. The offense can score points, but it's not going to matter too much when your defense can't stop anybody. And Dan Quinn, for him to be a defensive mind, this team struggles on defense tremendously. The offense can score points, but the defense just will not hold up. And last week showed this defense cannot stop a nosebleed. So this Falcons team can score points, but they can't stop anybody from scoring points. Especially a Dallas team where I don't feel Dak Prescott is elite. And for them to still lose that ball game, this Falcons team needs changes. And I think Dan Quinn is the first thing that needs to go. Number 26, the Miami Dolphins. Ryan Fitzpatrick, I mean, he's more of a bridge at this point. Just waiting on Tua to come along. This Dolphins team had no expectation to be any good anyway. So, yeah, they lost against Buffalo, a very close game, which we didn't see because of all of the storm that knocked out some of the power there. But Yeah, this Dolphins team wasn't suspected to be good anyway, so they're at the bottom where they belong, but they have some growing to do. And I think it will start really growing once Tua gets in and gets some reps with this team. So next we have the Denver Broncos, which lost Drew Lock and Courtland Sutton this past Sunday. And it's not looking good for the Broncos team, especially without Von Miller. Now you lost your top receiver in Courtland Sutton for the year, and Drew Lock is going to be out a couple of weeks. Yeah, this Broncos team will not be very good. And the backup is Jeff Driscoll, who's really not been a name in this league, so I can expect this Broncos team to be low. At number 24, we have a surprising Jacksonville Jaguars. Jaguars have not looked bad this year. I thought they were going to be one of the teams that was at the very bottom of this league, but Gardner Minshew is playing a whole lot better than I expected him to. The defense still can't stop really anybody, but especially Tennessee and Ryan Tannehill, even though Tannehill's not bad, I didn't think he was that type of quarterback that could torch a defense like that. And for them to not have Derrick Henry have a great game and them still score 33 points on the Jaguars, the defense is good, but Gardner Minshew has looked a lot better than what I expected him in year 2 of his career. But the Jaguars are very surprising. They won't make the playoffs, but this team is competitive, and this offense is better than what I expected it to be. Number 23, the Houston Texans. One thing you can say about the Texans is that they absolutely miss DeAndre Hopkins. This offense does not look the same without DeAndre Hopkins. I still think that was one of the biggest mistakes that Bill O'Brien and his front office could have made, was trading DeAndre Hopkins, because that's number one Deshaun Watson's go-to, and he's probably, I would say he's easily top 5 wide receiver in the league. If you'd let that go for David Johnson, who's been injury prone throughout the last couple of years of his career, and you really don't have much of a wide receiving core. Will Fuller is solid, but he's in and out of the lineup with injuries. Brandon Cooks, he's been bounced around. So the Texans defense has been playing worse than I expected, though. I think that was the main fall, is the defense hasn't been playing very good. And then you topple that with the offense that's struggling without DeAndre Hopkins. I didn't see this Texans team being, I could have seen them being 0-2, but I couldn't have seen them looking bad. I thought they would have been more competitive, because they're not a bad football team, but they really miss Hopkins, and the defense needs to play better. Number 22 is the Cleveland Browns. This team still fails to live up to expectations. They still failed to live up to expectations with the roster. Baker Mayfield did have a better game Thursday night against Cincinnati, but it's Cincinnati. So I can't really put too much stock into the win against Cincinnati. But this offense has to rely on Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. They have to rely on a running game, because it seems like Baker Mayfield, I'm not going to say he's regressed, but he hasn't taken that next step to be the quarterback that was expected of him to be in that draft of 2018. So this Browns team is not bad, but I think they could be better than what they've showed. They did score 35, but again, it's Cincinnati, so I'm not going to put too much stock into that. They still need to be better against more competitive teams. Number 21, we have the Washington football team. They didn't look too good against the Arizona Cardinals, even though the Cardinals are a very good team, which I kind of predicted. But Dwayne Haskins, as much as I love him, he was decent. There's still some spots where they can play better. I think they need to run the football better. Dwayne Haskins was solid. Terry McLaurin from the Ohio State again is really emerged into a very good receiver in this league. He's really emerged to be very good. The defense, I could say they could be a little bit better as far as coverage goes, but I'm still almost saying that other word. This Washington football team, oh my God, that still sounds stupid. This Washington football team is, It's middle of the pack, which I kind of expected him to be. Dwayne Haskins still has to improve a little bit, but I'm rooting for him. That's my guy, Ohio State. Number 20 is the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm sorry. This Eagles team is not very good. And I think Washington should be ahead of them. Washington should be ahead of them, especially since Washington beat them. They came back from a 17-0 lead to beat this Eagles team. And this Ram passing game had a field day against this Eagle defense. This Eagles team is not very good. Carson Wentz is not living up to the quarterback that he was in 2017 before the torn ACL. This Eagles team is not very good. Carson Wentz is struggling, and the defense is not holding up. This Eagles team, it says this Eagles team is some serious troubles. I agree with them 100%, and I feel Washington should be ahead of them, to be honest with you. Number 19, the Minnesota Vikings. I don't trust Kirk Cousins. The defense lost a lot of weapons and it's showing. The offense without Stephon Diggs looks a lot different. It looks a lot different. They're getting big. They're getting behind big in games. This Vikings team, a lot of people picked them to win the NFC North, and I don't know why. I still don't believe why people trust Kirk Cousins. I still don't believe why. I figured this Vikings team was not going to be very good. And I would put Washington football team ahead of them, honestly. Washington football team, I would put above the Eagles and above the Vikings. The Vikings are not a very good football team. And Kirk Cousins is not to be trusted. He has yet to be proven to be trusted to me, honestly. So this Vikings team is not very good, and I think they should be lower. 18 is the Bears. What could I say about this Bears team? The defense has been up and down. The offense has been up and down. I think the middle of the Bears defense has to improve. Trevathan and Smith mainly. Akeem Hicks has been solid. Khalil Mack has been solid. Having Robert Quinn back makes a difference. But the Bears team would just go as far as this running game goes. Their running game was very, very good against the New York Giants defense. And like I said in my video earlier, the Bears don't need a lead quarterback play, but they are still a contending team. They just need more consistent play from Mitchell Trubisky. They could be a little higher, but we will really see how this defense holds up against the Atlanta Falcons' high-powered offense this week. But so far, this Bears team is solid, but it's still work to be done. I'm a Bears fan, but it's still work to be done, especially on the offensive side of the ball, to stay consistent throughout 4 quarters of a football game. Trubisky has to be better consistently, but this Bears team has put themselves in a good position by winning 2 ugly games. Number 17, the Indianapolis Colts. Phillip Rivers looked very good against Minnesota. The running game is still going to struggle a bit without Marlon Mack, who's out for the year. Jonathan Taylor, I've seen him at Wisconsin, and he is a very good running back. I don't think the running game will take a hit, but it makes things a little bit different without Mack. And the Colts defense played a lot better against Minnesota than they played against Jacksonville. So they're about middle of the pack football team with still some work to be done going forward. But I've liked what I've seen from Phillip Rivers so far this year. 16, the Dallas Cowboys. They're about middle of the pack, though. They did come back against Atlanta, but Atlanta doesn't play any defense. Zeke has had a pretty solid start. Dak has had a pretty solid start. I still think the weakest part of this Dallas team is this defense, and Vander Esch being out really hurts. So they could be middle of the pack, but this defense still needs work. The offense has been playing well. The defense needs work. It really, really does. There's been a lot of defensive lapses with this Dallas Cowboys team. So Offense is solid, but the defense can improve tremendously. 15, we have the LA Chargers. Justin Herbert was a big surprise in that game against Kansas City. He looked very good against the Kansas City Chiefs defense. I didn't expect him to play because Tyrod Taylor with that mysterious chest injury, but Justin Herbert looked like he can be something special with the way he played against Kansas City. They're still saying that Tyrod is going to be the starter, but I don't see too long before Justin Herbert takes over that job, especially how he played against Kansas City. And that game was very competitive, and the Chargers had opportunities to win that football game if they could have just made a stop on Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs offense. But this Chargers team has the talent to win games, and Justin Herbert, I feel, will be the starter before the year is over with, the way he's playing right now. Number 14 is San Francisco 49ers, but look for them to go down. They lost Nick Bosa for the year. Mostert is out. Jimmy Garoppolo was out. This team got hampered by injuries last week against the Jets. They did blow out the Jets because the Jets are trash, but it's going to be absolutely not a struggle, but it's going to be a whirlwind of changes because of the injuries that they suffered. And as long as they can keep themselves above water until Jimmy G comes back, they could be okay, but this team got destroyed by the injury bug last week. So we have at 13, we have Tampa Bay against Carolina with that win. Tampa Bay's offense is solid, but I'm still not a huge believer in the defense. Even though Levante David is one of the more underrated running backs, underrated linebackers in football, and then you have Devin White on the other side who's played very well too. It's the corners for me. Mike Evans had his presence felt, and Tom Brady, he's not the elite quarterback that he was. He's not. He's just not. He still is in a spot where he can be productive, but he's not the same Tom Brady that he was, let's say, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. He's not that same quarterback anymore. He's just not. And I think this Bucs team is going to have to rely more on a running game than just to rely on Tom Brady's arm, if you want to be 100% honest with me. But I almost said Broncos. What is wrong with me? I can't even speak today. This Buccaneers team has some room to improve, but solid start so far. Number 12, the Tennessee Titans. This team has looked a lot better and is building off of that AFC Championship game appearance last year. Tannehill looked very good against the Jaguars defense, and Derrick Henry did not really necessarily have his best games, but they're still feeding him the rock. So they're controlling the clock. Tannehill is playing a lot better. I'm not going to really say these stats here because I always say stats are one thing, but they don't tell the entire story of a football game. But this team is really, really solid. They're building off of the AFC Championship game appearance. And the defense is a whole lot better with Mike Vrabel running things there. So, Titans team is really good. Number 11, the 2-0 Raiders, surprisingly 2-0. And let's just say this Saints team missed Michael Thomas. The Saints team missed Michael Thomas. And Darren Waller is, oh my God, that man is special. He looked absolutely unstoppable against that Saints defense. He looked absolutely unstoppable. And Derek Carr played a hell of a football game. This Raiders team, I didn't see them being 2-0 right now. It's surprising, but they are playing excellent football right now. And Josh Jacobs is emerging to be a very special running back. So things are looking up for this, I almost said Oakland, Las Vegas Raiders team. It's still weird saying Las Vegas. But things are really looking up for the Raiders. At number 10, we have New England. Cam Newton is back. They lost disappointingly very last play but Cam Newton is back. The defense got torched by my MVP pick, Russell Wilson. But this quarterback named Cam Newton is back. He's back with his legs, and he threw a hell of a game. Came up short, but I will still say this New England Patriots team is good, and Cam Newton is absolutely back. Number 9 is LA Rams. I think I will put New England ahead of them slightly. But Aaron Donald, that man is unblockable. Aaron Donald is unblockable. Just pure, simple and plain. He's unblockable. Jared Goff did play better. The running game is very good. I did not see that coming without Todd Gurley this year. But McVay is committing a little bit more to the run, which I would have liked to see him do. Commit more to the running game. So this Rams team, I still would put New England ahead of them, but this Rams team is surprising me. It's really surprising me. Number 8, we have the New Orleans Saints. We will see how things continue to flow without Michael Thomas in the lineup. Last night proved that this Saints team missed Michael Thomas on the offense. I think it was a mistake not getting him some other weapons besides Michael Thomas. Outside of Michael Thomas. Emmanuel Sanders is good. I don't see him playing to the level that he was last year with the San Francisco 49ers. It's just Michael Thomas in this offense is a huge element, and the defense has to step up and play a little bit better, especially in the middle. The linebackers had a big problem against Darren Waller. But we will see how the Saints team goes forward without Michael Thomas. Number 7, the Arizona Cardinals. Can we just say Kyler Murray can be an MVP competition? He can really be a competitor for the MVP the way he's playing so far. And DeAndre Hopkins has to be the biggest steal of this offseason. The Cardinals basically stole him. And the Cardinals defense is playing excellent football. This Cardinals team is scary. I had them as one of my teams that will be on the rise this year. This team is scary. Cliff Kingsbury has this offense flowing. I didn't see Cliff Kingsbury having his offense the way he does, but when you have a guy with Kyler Murray's skill set and the offense that he designed, it's very good, and this team is very scary. And number 6, the Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen does need to get his turnovers down, but he's looking like the quarterback with the best expectations out of that draft outside of Lamar Jackson. He's looking very good right now. And this defense of the Bills has to step up a little bit more. But Josh Allen is looking very good so far this season. This Bills team is a team I had on the rise. And then Stephon Diggs has been a huge addition to this offense. So this Bills team can be very good. And I can still see them winning the AFC East. Number 5, we have Pittsburgh. Ben Roethlisberger is back. He's playing and throwing accurately, making plays. Ben Roethlisberger is back. He's back. Big Ben is back. Number 4, we have the Green Bay Packers. I hate to admit it as a Bears fan, but damn, this team is good. This team is scary. This offense is scary. It's really scary. I hate to even say that. You know what? I can't tell too much positive. I can't do it too much longer. Number 3, Seattle. With my MVP pick, Russell Wilson throwing 5 touchdowns against that New England defense. It's easy. Russell Wilson is the MVP after these first 2 weeks. That man is playing on another level. And he's playing like he has the point to prove. With him not getting not a single MVP vote throughout his career. He's playing like he has a point to prove. And Jamal Adams, he's in contention for Defensive Player of the Year. He's in contention the way he's flying around the football field. This Seattle team is special. Is very special. And Russell Wilson, I can see them winning MVP. Number 2, we have the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, what more can you say about Patrick Mahomes leading them on 2 different drives to win that game against the Chargers? Leading them on 2 drives and using his legs as well. And then that bomb he threw to Tyreek Hill was something that no other quarterback can do. He does things that no other quarterback can do. And his defense is playing absolutely good. They're still looking like the Super Bowl team of last year. And then number 1, we have the Baltimore Ravens. This team is beating teams all aspects, on offense, on defense. They have their right. Ravens and Chiefs are 1 and 2. It'll be interesting to see how both teams look down the road, but both teams are absolutely scary. Lamar Jackson is still playing at that level. The running game is looking very, very good with Mark Ingram and my guy J.K. Dobbins from Ohio State. And the defense is creating turnovers and creating havoc. This team is special. This team is special. But that's all I've got for you guys today. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. We're still on the 1,000 subscriber grind. So any guy you guys can do to help spread the word of this channel will be greatly, greatly appreciated. Keep up with me on Instagram and Twitter. Both handles on the APW Sports, and both will be below. But that's all I got for you guys today. See you guys in the next video. Make sure that you guys have a great and excellent day. Peace.
I wanna say thank you to my mom and my daddy for making love the night that you had me. Wanna thank my friends, my sister, and my brother.